Hi guys, welcome to Altiwebs. In this video, we are going to learn about monetary policy. Before I proceed ahead, if you're watching this video on YouTube, I urge you to check out Altiwebs Learning app. This is one such app where you can earn money by watching this kind of exciting videos. Yes, you heard it right. You can earn money by watching these videos, and there are a lot more exciting stuff, educational stuff that you can do there, like quizzes. Material is available. There are lots of good videos available there. You can just go and watch those videos and you can earn money by doing that. Okay, before we proceed ahead, I also want you to check out our YouTube channel, Altiwebs. Subscribe it, and yeah, we'll come to the topic, monetary policy. So this is like a third video in the series. Before this video, there are two videos on inflation. We have discussed what is inflation and how inflation affects Indian economy. So I'll just briefly revise what all we have discussed in those two videos, but I recommend you to watch those two videos again before we proceed ahead. Those videos are available either in the app, Altiwebs Learning app, or in the YouTube channel. So let's proceed. I'll just briefly summarize what all we have learned in those two lessons. So we have learned that inflation is general price rise, like overall price rise, overall rise in the prices of goods and services. So the main cause of inflation is money supply. If there is going to be a lot of money supply in the economy, there is going to be inflation. If the money supply decreases in the economy, there is going to be opposite of inflation, that is deflation. So this is the main thing that is there, money supply in the economy. If there is more money in the economy, prices rise there, and hence inflation happens. If there is less money in the economy, prices decrease. As simple as that. More money in the economy, prices will rise, because we are assuming that the number of goods are constant. Same goods, more money is chasing those goods. Because more money is chasing the same number of goods, the prices increase. Hence, inflation rises. If money is decreasing in the economy for the same amount of goods, the prices will fall down. Hence, opposite of inflation, that is deflation, happens. So, by controlling money supply, we can control inflation. Right? Right. In next lesson, in lesson number 2, effects of inflation, we have learned that if we have too high inflation, that is bad for the economy, that is bad for the people in general. And even if there is no inflation, like if there is negative inflation or deflation, even then that is bad for the economy. If you want to know why is it so, you can just check out in the Altiwebs Learning app, or you can just check out Altiwebs YouTube channel. Their effects of inflation karke one video is there. You can just see in those video I've clearly explained what is the effects of inflation and why we should restrict our inflation to 2 to 4%. Like, we have to keep inflation low. We cannot afford to have high inflation, neither we can afford to have negative inflation. So we have to keep inflation low. That is what we have learned in second video, in the effect of inflation. In this video we have discussed that we have to keep it in the range 2 to 4%. So how do we do that? If you have to keep the inflation low, that basically means you have to control inflation. If you have to control inflation, what does basically means is you have to control money supply. Why you have to control money supply? Because if money supply is more, inflation is more. If money supply is less, inflation is less. So if you can control money supply, you can control inflation. Why you have to control inflation is, if you control inflation and keep it at low rates, that is in general good for the economy. How it is good for the economy, you can just check out another video, effects of inflation, in this YouTube channel. Okay, right. So we have to control money supply. First of all, we have to see the reasons why money supply increases or decreases in an economy. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn how to control money supply, but before that we have to see why money supply increases in an economy. I'll just for an example, I'll just tell you what happens. Let's say government reduce tax rates, so everybody has more money to spend, hence money supply in the economy increases. Another example is if government spending goes up. See, if one day government just thinks that is going to spend a lot, like it's going to spend whatever it is spending, it's going to just increase the spending, like by borrowing or stuff. They'll get money from how and just keep on spending, keep on building railways, infrastructure, roads and stuff. Even then, because government is putting a lot of money into the economy, the overall money supply in the economy increases. So if government spending increases or tax rate decrease, money supply in the economy increases, right? You can just understand what happens when tax rates decrease. When tax rates decrease, basically everybody have more disposable income, more income to spend. When people have more income to spend for the same amount of goods in the economy, there is more money that is chasing the economy, hence money supply increases. So these are two examples why money supply increases. There are many more cases why this happens. We will not just go into that too much. Okay. Let me give another example. Okay. If people are borrowing too much, like if there is a lot of borrowing happening, like let's say banks have low interest rates. When banks have low interest rates, everybody wants to borrow money. When everybody wants to borrow money, everybody is like going to bank, just taking the money, and this money is being circulated in the economy. Hence, when there is low interest rates also, the money supply in the economy increases. So these three are some examples where money supply in the economy increases. When tax rates are low, more disposable income, hence many people are spending, hence money supply in the economy is increasing. When government spending is low, by the way, this also comes from borrowing. If government borrowing is more, government spending will be more. When government spending is more, government is borrowing the money from outside and getting you the money and pumping it into the economy. When government is pumping money into the economy, money supply in the economy is going up. Similarly, when everybody starts to borrow more, that is when the rates are low, everybody starts to borrow more. I mean, I'm talking about interest rates of the banks. So when interest rates are low, everybody starts to borrow more, and then what happens is when everybody is borrowing more money, money supply in the economy is increasing. But if you keep on, like for example, I'll just say that banks will offer you interest at 1%. Then everybody wants to take a loan. Everybody wants to go to bank, get money, put that money into some investment, something they will do, and just keep on taking money from banks. Because the interest rate is very less, just 1%. So if you do that, what happens is everybody has a lot of money. So by this way, prices increase, right? So we cannot afford to have a lot of inflation. If everybody is borrowing more, we will have high inflation because we will have high money supply. So what we have learned in the last video, that is effects of inflation, is that we cannot afford to have high inflation, neither we can afford to have no inflation. So we need to keep the inflation low. We cannot afford to have a lot of money in the bank. So to keep the inflation low, we need to control money supply, right? So what we have learned is if there is a lot of money supply in the economy, inflation rises. Money supply can increase due to these three reasons, for example. So somehow we have to control this money supply to control inflation. Who does that? Who controls this money supply? This money supply is controlled by central bank of a country. You can take any country. You can take any country. You can take America. You can take India. Whatever. Every country has a central bank. In US, we call it Federal Bank. In India, we call it RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Like this, for every country there is a central bank who is primarily doing this job. What job? Controlling money supply. What are they doing actually? They're controlling money supply. Why they are controlling it? Because they want to keep inflation low. Okay, so we will just see it again. Here we have central bank. What is it doing? Is controlling money supply. This is what they are doing. Now we will come to why they are doing. They are controlling money supply. What they do is, central banks of any country, what they do basically, they control money supply. And why they do? To check inflation, to keep inflation low. You cannot have high inflation, that is not good for the economy. Hence we need to check inflation, that is we need to keep inflation low. So why we are doing is, we are trying to check inflation. We means central bank. Okay, what central bank does is control money supply. Why they do is to check inflation. Now we will come to how they do it. Here they use something called monetary policy to do it. So how a central bank controls money supply is by a policy called monetary policy. And why money supply needs to be controlled is to check inflation. Hence a central bank can control inflation in the economy by controlling money supply. And what is the process of controlling money supply called? Monetary policy. So we will discuss more about monetary policy in next video. The video will be available in the YouTube channel or in the Altiwebs learning app, where you can earn money by watching this kind of videos. Thank you.